Yo, RG3, what's for lunch?
You already know, man. It's some French beignets.
Ooh, let's go. I love it. Let's get cooking.
I'm a private chef, cook for money, yeah.
Guys, welcome back to What's for Lunch, RG3. Welcome to the kitchen.
Appreciate you, Donny. Let's make it happen.
So you were just saying a second ago that you make beignets.
Not new to beignets making, but I feel like you have a special recipe that you want to dish up.
I got a pretty good recipe, yeah. So I mean, I'm just going with the classic Café du Monde New Orleans style beignets, tons of powdered sugar on at the end.
Correct.
Relatively easy, you know. It's flour, sugar, a little bit of yeast, and then some butter, and you know, it's nothing crazy. Are you a baker then? Do you like to bake, or
really the only thing I do bake is beignets.
Okay.
I enjoy the process of going through and making them. Now people don't know that, but you can get like a box mix from Café du Monde, and I'm not saying that it's a bad box mix.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's better if you make it from scratch.
You know what? I say it all the time about mostly anything you're making. It's always better from scratch. So take from RG3. That's some good advice right there. All right. So the first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna take the yeast.
Okay.
We're gonna put it in warm water. We want this to activate because if the water's too cold, nothing's gonna happen.
Okay.
If it's too hot, kills the yeast. So you want it around like 110 degrees is like that sweet spot, that Goldilocks zone for yeast. And what you can do to help if you're doing this at home, making breads or anything, feed it with a little bit of sugar. So we're gonna take a little bit of our sugar, and that's gonna feed the yeast, and that's gonna help that get nice and bubbly. So we set this aside for about 5 minutes. Yeah, the sugar really helps. The yeast goes crazy. Start eating the sugar, and like you'll get a much better rise from your bread.
You mind if I take notes?
You take as many notes you want. This is good. So I have some in the warming drawer here. And as you can see, look, we have our yeast and water, and that's like the perfect, the bubble that you want.
My man
that
is
yeast
on
is
it.
perfectly activated, so we don't even have to wait. We're getting a little, step above here. So yeast goes in, and then some whole milk. Now I got to ask you about this.
Yes.
The famous, the croissant picture.
Yes.
You eat the giant. Where'd that come from?
That came from France.
Okay.
So we were in Paris, and in Paris there's a famous restaurant out there where they make these giant croissants, and we went and we actually got 2 of them, and we did some content with them on TikTok, on Twitter, and whatnot. And I did not anticipate that the picture would go viral in the way that it did, but the internet is always going to internet. So I'm just sitting there eating a croissant with my wife, having a good time, and then like 10 minutes after we posted the picture, it was everywhere.
Everywhere.
It wasn't even viral, it was galactical.
It became a meme.
So,
it's literally like anytime you said like me and so, like something that I've done, it's like they put the funny one.
It's a thing. So, you lean in, had a good time. We just, it doesn't bother me at all.
That's good.
It's one of those things of, hey man, if a giant croissant eating is gonna really make the world feel better about themselves, then we're gonna be the giant croissant
exactly.
eaters.
And now it's like you're in the Internet Hall of Fame too. That's lore forever. It's
that is very true.
You got to take what you can get. That's a good accolade. Now, are you a big foodie then? As far as eating, what's like where do you fall in that category?
It's very difficult to be a foodie when you're a pro athlete.
Okay.
When you're trying to like stay in shape and be the best you possibly can. I think in the last 9 years, I met my wife. My wife is Estonian. In the last 9 years, I've probably tried more foods than I ever imagined I ever would. So I've become a little bit more of a foodie.
Okay.
Obviously, I've been playing in 3 years,
Right.
so I've had an opportunity to try some things out. And I never ate an oyster, calamari, these type of different things 9 years ago, but now.
Wow. Okay. So now, were you like a picky eater before, just like basically whatever you needed for nutrients for to be an athlete?
Yeah, picky eater in the sense of like I was gonna go straight for lasagna and meatball and spaghettis, and I wasn't gonna really be trying the pan-seared, double-crusted, double-twice baked tilapia. I wasn't gonna be doing that. But now I try all that stuff.
So we got the flour that's been put in. We have our sugar, we have our milk, we have a little bit of water with that yeast, and I just put some butter in. This is gonna go for about 4 minutes. The biggest thing with beignets and this style of dough is you don't wanna over mix it, because then the gluten overdevelops and you get a chewy and a sticky. So people might get worried at home if you're making these. You look at the dough and you go, oh, it's still wet, it's still sticky. That's totally fine. So now this is gonna sit in ester proof for about like 3 hours. You really wanna let it go. You just want that yeast to have time to start developing with the gluten to activate, and it's going to rise.
Okay.
So if you don't do it soon enough, nothing's going to happen. With any bread or baking like that, you need the chance for that yeast to do its thing and to rise up. You can do it overnight though. Say we made these, you want to use it for tomorrow.
Yep.
You can put it in the fridge, and it's going to be a lot slower process.
That's what I do.
Same thing. Yeah.
I put it in overnight, let it rise up, and then the beignets are way better. Don't make them right away after you mix the dough.
Cold dough is easier to work with too.
Correct.
So if you have a colder dough, it's not going to be as sticky and as tough. RG3 knows what he's doing. This is one of the easiest guests yet. I don't have to teach him anything. All right, so we're going to get, let's get a little flour on this. We don't want anything to stick. And then I'll let you do the honors here if you want to peel this. Look at that beautiful dough. Look at that rise we got on there.
Look at that.
You want to, it's going to be a little sticky. Yeah, get some flour in the hand. There you go. Whoops, my bad. You're doing that. There we go. Boom. And then here, I'll give you the rolling pin. And we're going to go just, we kind of want them a little thick, so nothing, not too thin. But yeah, roll them out and we'll cut them into squares.
You got it.
Now, were you a big like celebratory eater after a big win or after the Heisman? Did you do any big dinner to celebrate, or were you kind of just, It was
like the people always ask me, hey, what is your Christmas meal? What's your Thanksgiving meal? And in my family, they're all the same. So Christmas, Thanksgiving, gumbo, sweet potato pie, mac and cheese, cornbread, and then I sit there for the last part of the party and I make the beignets.
Nice.
So that we do that all the time. Just try to have that family tradition, spend that time together. I do a bunch of different versions of the beignets too, where some have chocolate filled, some are strawberry filled, and of course that's just at the very end of the process. You make sure that the beignet is good, it's cooked. You put that in there. We even use vanilla extract in the beignet.
Sorry.
Did you use that?
I use that in this version. That's now that you said that, I forgot to put vanilla extract in the one we made. But in this, there is vanilla
extract.
You reminded me.
It helps. It helps with the sweetness of the beignet. I've even experimented. The powdered sugar obviously is the most traditional kind, but you can also do cinnamon. So I've experimented over the years with it. But for me, what it boils down to is the best version is the simplest version.
Right.
And that's why Cafe de Mon is so special to us.
And I like so when you're doing the strawberry and the chocolate, are you like injecting them?
Exactly. Injecting it in.
That's great.
Because it's harder if you try to cook it with the filling inside, then you might 1 time out of 10 pull it off.
Right.
But more times than not,
it's not going to be great.
It's not going to be great.
Right. We want to do a big ass one.
We can do big.
Should we just do a big? Cut a big square.
Big square.
I love that. I like that.
Honestly, the problem I've had is you see this bowl. Normally, mine will rise to like the top of the bowl. And when you get the dough to rise that much, now you have like 37 beignets.
Right. This is a big beignet in my opinion.
That is a big beignet.
So I'm going to make this as easy as possible. I'll move our oil over here.
Here we go. Look at that. This is easily the biggest beignet I've ever made.
Okay.
Oh, you got it.
We got it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
That's gonna be beautiful.
That's it. We got it. That's in. Now
Nice
we pray. Now we but I think we're gonna be good here. This thing looks like it's getting golden.
Holy cow! Look at that.
I think a little longer on that side. I don't want to flip it too soon, but it's getting there.
It's rising nicely though.
Yeah, it's puffing up.
I'm not gonna lie. I've never made beignets in a pan this shallow. Not that it's a bad thing. I mean, you're actually. Because I always get when you make gumbo, you get the big crock pot.
Right.
And typically you can use a deep fryer to make the beignets.
Yep.
I've never done it like this though. So
yeah, I just do. I mean, I have the big deep fryer, but it's like you have to put so much oil in it, and this is gonna float anyway. So it's like you don't really need it to be that deep because it's gonna rise and float on top, and you just do a flip. So
you're doing. I mean, you're giving me great opportunities here to save oil and save money on the pots and the pans.
There you go.
I appreciate it, Chef.
Hey, no problem. And while this is frying, you talked about how you like to cook once a week. Yep. I have a book. There's a little something for everyone in this book, but it even starts with what pots and pans to use. What does salt actually do to food?
Okay.
What is what seasoning should you have? I'm sure some of it might be a little too easy, but I think maybe you'll find something in there that you take home with you, learn from.
Never too easy.
You can always learn something in the kitchen. That's what I say. Perfect. All right, we're going to go for the flip here.
Here we go.
We're going for the flip.
Come on now. You got this. Trust yourself. Oh!
We splashed a little bit, but hey, that's fine.
We just make sure the kids aren't around.
Hey, that's fine. I mean, this is looking good. That's a big ass beignet. That's a big ass beignet. We might as well just throw some of these in here while we have the dough. Why not? We'll make some, you know, we'll do a couple traditional
Yeah,
shapes
smaller
just
size
to have them.
ones.
So let's just get the powdered sugar on this now, and
Holy cow.
we'll do for these. We'll do Cafe du Monde style. We'll put it in the paper bag.
Yeah, and shake 'em.
This one, I think it's not. Well, I know it won't fit in my bag. So
Definitely won't.
if you just want to sift away on top of that,
You got it.
dust the hell out of it.
There we go.
This is my favorite part, is getting the powdered sugar on
I
top.
mean, my gosh. A lot of surface area to cover here.
Oh, that's a good looking beignet.
Yes, it is.
That's the biggest one I've seen. I think we successfully made a giant beignet. These
Babe.
look great too. I mean, look at the puff we got on these. That's what you want. I mean, that's how you know you got a good dough, is when you get a nice rise. That's a good shape right there. You know, it's a irregular shape, I guess. It's something. It's something different. Okay.
That's
So we
awesome.
have those, and we have our big ass beignet.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, people always hear like you know, the baking and this and that and like pastries, and they kind of quit before they start and they get nervous. But
Exactly.
this is like
It's a very
such an
simple
easy one. I think we need
one.
more sugar.
I used to make them much more often, you know, maybe like once or twice a month.
Okay, that's frequent.
But then when you start putting on the pounds,
Yeah, right.
you're like, whoa, we gotta chill
Yeah.
just a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. All right, give these a shake. Oh yeah, these.
Oh,
Ready for this? Get the powdered sugar right in the
powder
air.
in the face. It's a different way to use a brown paper bag. Look at that.
There
Chef
we go.
Donny.
Woo! We have successfully made one big ass beignet, and then our traditional Cafe du Monde style beignets right here.
That's incredible.
This is all we got left to do. Is we got to dig in. We
gotta dig in and
gotta
eat 'em.
try. How do you want to go about the big one? You want a knife? You want a fork? I think you just got to.
I'm just gonna grab
I think
it.
you just got to grab it. Go for it. I'm gonna do a
right.
little one. Enjoy. Cheers.
Oh my God, look at that.
Oh my, dude! I was a little nervous. It might not come out. It worked. It worked.
I mean, this is incredible.
That's beautiful. Look at that. Perfect on these two.
I can
Nice.
taste the vanilla extract too.
See, I didn't forget it in this one. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode of What's for Lunch. RG3, thank you for being here. That was awesome. Those were the beignets. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.